Hello, this is Yamuna Devi from Ayurveda Spirituality and Life podcast, and I'm so happy to share with you and present Stephanie and I, a dear friend of mine from the official Lawyer Mom podcast, which you can definitely reach out and look at her beautiful podcast, which she shares like a lot of beautiful advice and things that I'm sure will be fruitful and helpful for you to make a shift in your life and improve the quality of your life as well. And so I want to share with you this beautiful episode that we made specifically about appetite and how having a proper appetite, and we will discuss that, will also help you in your day-to-day life. So thank you for being here. I honor and respect you, and please enjoy. Thank you.
Hello, and welcome to the Lawyer Mom podcast. I'm very excited to welcome you all back to the podcast. It's been a while. I know a lot of you have messaged me. A lot of you have reached out and said, where have you been? Why did you stop? Honestly, it's just been a very hectic last couple months. Well, last year, really. We are catching up, our family's catching up with the repercussions from COVID and everything else. So now we are back, we're ready to go. I can't promise it's going to be every week, but definitely once a month for now. And I just wanted to keep you guys posted and in the loop about that. I am so happy to be back and share my journey with you. I have so many things to talk about that have happened so far, with the kids, with the husband, with the mother-in-law, with everything. So that will come and you guys will be thrilled to listen to. There are very exciting episodes up ahead. But today, I reserved my first comeback with a beautiful, talented, wonderful Ayurvedic doctor who is been the light at the end of my tunnel, and you guys are also familiar with your favorite, Yamuna Devi. Welcome, Yamuna.
Thank you, Stephanie. I'm so happy to be here with you today, and it is an honor to be here.
I'm so happy to have you. Thank you for coming back with me in my comeback episode, and I got a lot of feedback on your other podcast episodes that you were so kind enough to share in your own podcast. If you want to let people know where they can find you.
They can find me in Om Ayurveda Wellness. We also have a podcast that we share, and you will also find episodes with Stephanie, because it is always a blessing to join together and it's and share. So it's always lovely. Thank you for having me.
You're so kind always. So Yamuna, we were doing a little bit of brainstorming before. Usually, just so you know, guys, we don't talk about anything rehearsed or anything like that. We let things flow. We go with our energy, with our brains, with our souls, and we let things flow. That's why sometimes you'll hear some pauses, but that's just us trying to communicate with our spirits. So basically, we were chit-chatting the other day, and we thought that this might be a very appropriate episode to discuss on a podcast about appetite. And being that Yamuna is a world-renowned Ayurvedic practitioner, like, I cannot recommend you enough to find out more about Ayurveda if you don't know. But I cannot recommend her services enough. It is like on my testimonial is it's the best. It's natural remedies basically before big pharma got in control of our systems. But this is a natural healing, if you want to see it that way. The medicines are based off of plants and herbs. They are something that you could take while pregnant. You could give to kids. I have given my kids some of the medicines from here and healed them on certain things, which I will discuss in another episode. But it is extremely natural and extremely, extremely nice. I have used I still use every now and then for the heartburn and for gas issues after pregnancies, which I started to suffer from repeatedly. And the only thing that has ever taken it away has been my Ayurvedic medicines, and it is so fast. Like, I don't know if you remember one time that I came to you and it was like I was crouching. I couldn't even sit down.
I remember that.
And you said, "What's wrong with you?" And I didn't even know it was gases.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't know, something with my stomach. I must have eaten something. I couldn't tell that it was a gas issue.
I remember.
And of course, you felt my pulse. And you were like, no, girlfriend. You need to get on these herbs. And you gave me 2 of the herbs, and then for the heartburn too. And that was just incredible. It was so incredible because it took it right away. And I didn't have to take it like for a month. I just took it one time and it went away, and that was it.
Yeah. And it's interesting because usually we take it for some time to have the effect, but maybe it was something that you just needed at that moment. Even though, of course, again, if you continue, it will feel even better. Right. The effects are longer.
Yeah. And mind you, I was on omeprazole. I was on, Tums, which at that point, Tums does nothing for me now. No. I would just eat Tums like a dessert, like one Tums after another, and it does nothing. Absolutely nothing.
And it's not only you, Stephanie. It's like I call you Steph, so just in case.
Call me whatever you
want.
Whatever you want.
The pauses here, you won't see. You will see this is, like she said, it's just natural. It's us talking, and we don't have anything programmed. Right. So like Steph said, it's like something very typical that, a lot of people are just used to this, and a lot of doctors recommend omeprazole. Like, I see it all the time, and Tums is like, it's available to us, like Altoids, right? Right. Like, take it, like you'll feel better. But if we don't find the root cause of what is happening within us, then it's just like a Band-Aid.
Can I just ask you quickly to explain? I know it's a little off topic.
No, go ahead.
But you can, if you could explain to us what you explained to me that day about the hot and the cold and why those herbs were specific for the stomach. And that was just mind-blowing to me.
Yeah. So I had recommended her 2 herbs. And this is just for digestion. I didn't check anything else. But based on what she was feeling, her symptoms, and we have to be very careful the herbs that we select. There are many digestive herbs. And if I were to give her, she was suffering from acid reflux and also the indigestion part as well. So there is a reason why she's getting that acid reflux. And if we just pacify the acid reflux, then will turn off your fire, your digestive fire. And I actually needed something to stimulate your digestive fire and to also help you, with to pacify also, to help. So if
we apologize.
Yeah, some neighbors.
Some neighbors aren't exactly that soft spoken.
So if we help stimulate your digestive fire, that will create heat, which can also create the heartburn, and it'll create more heat. So I had to also use something cooling to pacify, but that's a digestive that would help with the acid reflux. So it's very beautiful. Sometimes, the cause of the heartburn could be from low digestive fire. Yeah. So it's very tricky. We have to be very cautious and careful to play with the herbs and see how you're feeling always.
But you could get it down just by the pulse.
Yeah.
When you do somebody's pulse, guys, it's incredible. She sits you down She takes your pulse, the way doctors take it with her fingers in your wrist. And from there, she gets everything. She gets if you're angry, if you're sad, if you're hot, if you're cold, if you have issues with your stomach, if you have issues with your, us ladies with the period, which that's with sleep. Yes, with sleep. Sleep is a big deal for me. I do not sleep, but yeah, we're getting there. I've already eliminated melatonin, which I was addicted to, basically. And then I found out that it was a hormone. In my ignorance, I didn't know. And that's not good to be taking. I was even giving it to the kids because, they promote it as...
They promote it. They sell it. They're same way they're promoting now ashwagandha.
Yeah, ashwagandha.
And what else are they promoting? Oh, turmeric is good.
Yeah, I love turmeric. And collagen.
Yeah.
I do take collagen.
But put it in your food. Like, don't take a capsule of turmeric.
Right. You could just cook with it. It doesn't really taste like anything.
Yeah.
It doesn't give... It's just a yellow color,
and people are selling this, like promoting it,
and to kids too.
Especially ashwagandha is something that we have to be careful because it's a medicine. It's not,
you cannot take it with other things. There's certain things you cannot take with,
and you also have to be careful, see how the person's digestion is doing before you give that, and if there is an imbalance, like or if there is toxins in the body, like you have to be very careful, so it's not something to be taken lightly, even though of course the effects of it are amazing, and it does help you with energy, and it does create a balance within you, but you have to be very careful. So something is good, like remember coconut oil is good, then everyone's cooking with coconut oil.
Yeah.
Remember that?
And now there's like a group of people saying, no, but you need to get this coconut oil because if it's too yellow or too white or this or that, I don't even know the rules anymore.
I can't keep up. Where are those different coconuts, right? Like, we don't know anymore.
I don't know.
We don't know. So it's the reason why we're talking about this appetite is we were actually talking about this before, like,
right, yeah.
And I see people that come in and they're like, oh, I'm tired, and I don't have appetite, and I'm in a bad mood, or I'm snappy and I can't sleep. It's like from not eating, all these other things start coming.
Yep.
Our metabolism slows down, our whole body, our appetite, everything starts from foods. Like, the foods have to be nourishing to us because that's what's going to give us that energy. Like, how do you work on an empty fuel? How do you run your car on empty fuel? You can't. You need to put fuel. You need to do the oil change. You need to maintain the car. You need to take care of it. So it's very important to take care of yourself and make sure you are eating the right foods according to your constitution, your body type, and also according to the imbalance you have. So it's, people are looking up online like, oh, foods that are good for vata dosha, or different body types, pitta dosha, kapha dosha. But it's not only that, we also have to see what is the imbalance that the person is having. So if you're getting swellings on your legs and you're getting swelling in your body, like, try to eliminate foods that are or even fruits that are high in fluids, like watermelon and melons.
Yeah, I remember that day.
Yeah.
The day she told me I could not eat watermelon, and I almost cried. It's my favorite fruit.
Right? So it's funny because our imbalance, and I was explaining this earlier to someone, our imbalance, there's a fine line, very fine line between our needs and our wants. Like, what does your body really need, or what is your body craving? For example, if you have low iron, actual low iron in the body, the person will start craving meats.
Right.
Someone said, Yamuna, I'm vegetarian, and all of a sudden I'm craving meats. She says, so I eat my meat because I'm craving it. I said, okay, maybe you're craving it because your iron is low. She's trying to replace it. But we also have to see what is happening deep inside. Why is she not creating those red blood cells, for example? Or, you know, what is happening that she's iron deficient? And then sometimes the person craves meat because of an imbalance. You know, like there's an imbalance. So it could be a pitta dosha imbalance, like a fiery. So maybe that person is very aggressive and very angry and irritable and very hot, and their skin gets hot flushed, and they feel that they crave it because they already have that pre-existing imbalance. Does that make sense?
Yep.
So they're aggressive in nature, and then they crave that meat, which makes them even more aggressive. So in that case, that is a desire, it's not a need. Or like craving chocolate, something simple.
Well, that makes me, now that you spoke about chocolate, that makes me remember when you told me when us ladies, when we have our cycle, it's not supposed to hurt.
Yeah.
I was like, what?
It's not. That's.
It
I
has
think that's a good
always-
topic we can talk about in the future. Like,
Yeah.
no, our cycle is not supposed to be uncomfortable. Our mood should also be good. You know, there are things that we can do to manage it. Even though, of course, we can have the shift in hormones can cause us to cry or to feel sad or different things, snappy. Like, there are different emotions, but pain is not normal. And myself included, I used to take Midol, remember? Like, I don't even know if they sell that in the market anymore.
I think so.
They do?
I think so.
They have Aleve, right?
Aleve, yeah.
And
But I remember Midol was targeted for that.
specific for that.
Yeah.
And I would carry that in my bag because I always needed that because of the pain.
Right.
Until I realized that if I apply Ayurveda in my life, like I don't know what pain is anymore. It just, you know. So I think that's a really beautiful topic, and how to honor and respect that aspect of the woman, which we can remember on
We
that.
can definitely
This is
come
so
back.
important.
Yeah, super important to enlighten others with this knowledge that has been known for so many years, but nobody
And we're
listens
just
to it.
relearning this.
We are just relearning it. So many things like this.
Yeah.
So many
we
things.
become more ignorant.
We have. The more people watch TV, that's what I say.
Yeah, we become more ignorant, and
Yeah.
and we stop listening to our body.
Yeah.
You know, we stop listening.
We don't listen to our intuition anymore.
Also, and we don't listen to our body. We misuse, we abuse, and we overwork our body, and we hurt ourselves. So talking about appetite, we were just talking about this. Some people say, like, I'm not going to eat because I'm sitting down most of the time, so I can't gain weight.
I've heard that, yeah.
And actually, if you stop eating, you will gain weight. But again, there's another fine line. You need to have a nice digestive fire. Like, digestive fire means you have to have a nice appetite.
Right.
So the moment that, and I'm sure that person that told me that, oh, I'm not eating because I can't gain weight, she doesn't have a good appetite. So when the person doesn't have a good appetite, it also like blurs the mind. It creates like this kind of state of like you're in the clouds. You're not there. It's the cloudiness.
Yeah.
You know, when
It's
you're
like the hypoglycemia kicking in.
Yeah. So we have to eat, and then again, people who don't eat, oh, they develop stomach ulcer. Why?
Too much acid in your belly.
Yeah, because, and then what happens? The doctor gives a medicine, some medicine to help them with that, right? Pacify their stomach acid when they can just eat. You know? Now, there are 3 types of digestions in Ayurveda: digestive fire, or, you know, how is your appetite? Is it raging? Is it non-existent. Because also raging appetite or having something to eat all the time, it could be an imbalance. It just depends on your activities as well. Like someone who's athletic all the time, they might need, because they are burning down the food so easily.
Well, there's also, it's super interesting because appetite, I've learned a lot about it through learning more about ADHD and ADD also, because of the focus. Like you forget to eat and all of a sudden you feel hunger, like you want to eat a whole pizza. And it's this cycle a lot of people go through, and they don't even realize that. Maybe set up a timer to eat. Maybe remind yourself to eat.
Yes.
Other people that are suffering from too much appetite, then, it's like what you were saying about what is it there's a lot of anxiety issue behind that.
Yeah. And I even think like not only ADHD or ADD, like this is like society.
Yeah, society.
Society is so busy, like, oh, I don't have time to eat. Like,
yeah, or you eat in front of a computer, you don't even remember.
That's terrible too.
Or know what you even
because you are not absorbing, you are not assimilating the food. You are just assimilating everything that's on the screen into your body with the food. So it's not helping you. Yeah, it's hurting you.
I'm sure that that stumps digestion.
Definitely. And then people say, I'm suffering from this and that, different things, digestive disorders, and it's like because we misuse again and abuse our body. So how do we know if we have a healthy appetite? Going back to our topic, when you feel that you feel first the desire to eat, right, at the right times,
like a lunchtime, a breakfast.
12, like 7 to 8:30 should be our breakfast, right when the sun is coming out. When the sun is highest, it should be our largest meal. The lunch, 12 to 2, between that time. Then our dinner time should be lighter by the time that the sun is setting.
So before nighttime.
Yes, 6 to 7:30. So if we eat the largest meal at night, the sun's already setting, our digestive capacity is less. So it disturbs our sleep.
What about sleeping right away after? Like there's so many things. Like I'm from a South American country where it's normal to take a nap after lunch.
Terrible.
Everybody naps after lunch.
Yeah, and then that's like a bomb,
What happens when you do that?
You get a big belly.
You just swell up.
Yeah, you get a big belly, and it starts developing into a belly, like a big belly. That's why the only people that are allowed to nap are babies.
Of course, babies.
Geriatric.
Right.
And sick. So the elderly, right? And the sick people. Those are all the only 3 conditions that they're allowed to nap. That's
so
it.
You have to
and
fight
pregnant,
it.
Sorry, for pregnant women.
You have to fight it.
Yeah. So talking about that, this is what I wanted to get to. So if you have a good digestive fire, you eat because you have a good appetite. But how does that meal make you feel later? If that meal makes you feel sluggish, sleepy,
okay,
your digestive fire is not good. Or the meal is too heavy for you, or the meal is not compatible to you. So
how are you supposed to feel?
We should feel energetic. We should feel vibrant. We should feel mental clarity. Not that cloudiness that we were talking about. So it's important the choices we make. We should feel energetic after the meal. Sometimes it could be we're having too much food, too big of a meal. We're not managing. So in Ayurveda, we actually cup both hands together, and within those 2 cupped hands, that's your stomach size. And we should have our rice, our lentils, our cooked vegetables, whatever you're having. And always keep a little space, or small salad, a little space for digesting everything. But what do? We misuse our body. We eat the full plate.
Yeah, we eat a lot.
You know, we can try to,
or too much carbs, or too much of something.
too much of one thing.
Yeah.
It's not a balanced meal.
Right.
You know, so
Yeah.
that harms us. And if you feel like you eat too much and you don't know how much to eat, then pace yourself. Eat a little bit, and then, okay, I'm still hungry. Put a little bit more, and go back and put a little bit more. But after you finish eating what's in your plate, you will feel like, I'm okay, I'm good. But if you fill yourself more, you're like, oh, I want more. Is it real? Or is it just that you're used to that habit? You have to ask yourself. Again, that's a fine line.
Yeah. And that's why a lot of people end up saying, oh, that's not for me, or that's just a diet, or that's too hard, or it's the mental programming is also part of it.
Yeah, and you're not dieting. You're eating for your body.
You're eating to get what your body needs. You're not eating for pleasure.
Not eating for pleasure, and not, like, there's a lot of topics, even weight loss, like, that's another topic.
Yeah.
But it is important to have a nice appetite, and how you feel after. Also observing, do I have acid reflux? Do I have gas? Do I feel bloated? Do I feel indigestion? Then perhaps the foods that you're eating are not good for your specific body type. Or we need to help your digestive fire. So what I was saying is there's 3 types of digestions in Ayurveda. We have Mandagni, which means Manda means slow digestive fire, means appetite is not existent. Breakfast comes around, not hungry.
Oh God, so many people I know don't have breakfast.
Yeah.
They skip it. They say, I'm not hungry.
Yeah. You could have fruits, right? But then they skip lunch. Then they eat lunch sometimes at 4 o'clock. That's already disturbing your dinner. And then dinner is going to be like 10, 11, 12. God knows.
So night shift jobs are very hard on the body.
Very hard on the body. Very,
I mean,
very
some people
hard.
can't.
I pray for those people.
Yeah,
I pray, because it's very, very hard on the body, and it's not according to nature. It's
You're
going
supposed
against,
to be sleeping.
and it's hard because think about it. It's like you're going against nature. You're working night shift, maybe because it's a better pay, and you're harming your body long term. There are hospital bills, that will come. We pray that you don't need that get there, but it's important to have a nice schedule with routines, the circadian rhythm, like your life, like even the birds, like at 8 o'clock at night when the sun is completely down, what are the birds doing? Sleeping. Are they going out and eating the little bugs?
No, they're sleeping.
They're in their little twig sleeping. But what are we doing? We are eating, we're doing so many things, working, and it's against the body. So we should be winding down for sleep. But so talking about the Mandagni, that's a slow digestion. And then imagine what happens that you skip breakfast, you skip lunch, you are starving probably by dinner time. You're eating like everything.
And whatever you see.
Yeah. In the day, again, your digestive fire is low, you're putting that. Or if you're eating without appetite, again, that's not good. Because your digestive fire is out, you're putting breakfast in there, it's not digesting. Then lunch comes around, you put it in because you figured it's lunchtime, you gotta have something in there, it's out. Dinner comes again. So all that stuff is just piling up in there, and it's kind of like I don't want to say rotting. But okay, I said it.
It's festering in there.
It's just spoiling.
It's just there.
In there. It's sitting there.
Yeah.
And then the next day it continues. And then what happens? That kills all your mood, like your sleep, like, you know, you feel down, you feel lack of energy, you feel slow, you feel tired, everything just gets worse and worse. So that's Mandagni. So we want to start stimulating that nice digestive fire. We can stimulate it with spices, even teas. You know, there are ways to stimulate your digestive fire to help you digest and to have a nice appetite, actual appetite. Then we have Tikshna Agni, which is very sharp, means sharp digestive fire. So from slow, sharp, imagine a fire like under a pot and it's just firing. You put some vegetables in there, what happens with a little water?
It'll burn.
It's gonna burn. So, and then you put a little bit more vegetables, still gonna burn. So that's a sharp digestive fire. That is also unhealthy. That means the person's appetite is raging, ravaging, right? So we need to cool it down. We need to calm it down. Because also anything you put in there is
it's just gonna burn.
So what happens is starting to eat up the own, like burning your own body, your own tissues.
Wow.
And some people don't feed the body at that time. So
they
if
just keep going.
You just keep going, and then what happens? You are depleting your own energy. Your body's kind of eating away at itself, you know. So we need to.
We're going to lunch after, right?
Yeah. I'm already hungry.
I'm starving. I'm talking about appetite.
Like talking about food, you're like,
Yeah, my fire is raging.
So we want to pacify it. We want to get to Samagni, which means balanced digestive fire.
Okay.
And there you feel happy. You eat happy. You are content. After you eat, you feel good. You feel energetic. You don't feel sleepy. You feel light, vibrant.
I always said that there's a reason why healthy foods are more expensive. I've always said that the big picture is that not only is it cheaper to produce processed foods that are bad for us, it is cheaper. So that's why they are cheaper foods. But the big picture, I think, is that to reach a state of homeostasis with our body, we need to nurture it the same way we nurture the babies and all that. So regarding appetite, you know more than anybody, the more sugar you eat, the more carbs you eat, that stimulates an unhealthy appetite and unhealthy behaviors, and that's a whole other circle that goes in the body.
Unhealthy
patterns that lead to obesity, unhappiness, all of those things. So sometimes it's, even though it does suck that an organic whatever is more like $10 more than a regular, processed bioengineered grain or whatever it is. But if you are able to afford it, you should definitely go for that and not the processed stuff.
And also, talking about that, I agree. I think it's much better.
Just clarity.
Grow your vegetables at home.
I wish.
You told me that. Remember?
I wish to have a garden someday. I just don't. I haven't developed my green thumb yet. But
she has it.
Yeah.
So that's the thing. Like, not only eating organically, but also watching yourself, how you're eating. Are you sitting down to eat? Are you sitting in front of the screen? Then that cancels out all the organic things, right? Like, you have to really.
Or are you topping it off with like a Jolly Rancher?
Yeah. you have to be mindful when you eat, so that the nutrients can nourish your body, and you are assimilating and digesting everything properly. So that is, it's beautiful. It's a beautiful topic, and it's very vast. And just take care of yourself, because from your appetite, from your digestion, it tells you a lot about how your overall health is doing. So I'm very happy that you invited me to talk about this topic, because it's very, very, very important. I can't stress this more.
Yeah, I agree. Society needs to revisit their the way they look at appetite.
Yeah.
And it's a good, knowledge is power, and knowledge has the power to change people's behavior. And when you think of appetite in a positive way, oh, I want to have appetite so that I can eat at the right times and be successful and be clear-minded. Maybe I wouldn't be so grumpy and in a bad mood or stressed out or whatever it is. But then that's a whole societal issue where when it's lunchtime, you actually give your employees lunch. So many employees don't even take lunch. They have too much work.
They have too much work.
Or, other fields that are just irregular schedules and nearly impossible to maintain a good appetite. But if you're mindful about it, you at least can try. And if society was definitely mindful about it, I think that would make a big difference.
Doesn't it make sense, what you're talking about? If the companies are aware and mindful of the health of the people, even mental, emotional health, gosh, the productivity rate will increase. The efficiency rate will increase. Common sense, right?
Yeah.
Okay, we are closing down for lunch. I know many places that do that. They're lunch hour, it's closed, and they're very strict about it. And that helps keep the happiness, the joy of the people, to work. So it's very important.
I know a lot of countries do it. I know a lot of countries, they close down from 12 to 2. And then they're open until 6, and that's it. Until 6 it is.
That's it. It's cut.
Every now and then you have a job where you're, working harder, or if it's your company, you tend to work harder, but...
Yeah, so I remember that you were just to kind of finish, because I know that you have other things to do, and I know you were telling me about appetite. Go eat. Remember you told me, I said, Steph, we might need to stimulate your digestion.
Oh yeah, this is where it began. Yeah.
This is where it began. And you're oh no, am I gonna be ravaging with hunger? I don't want to gain more weight. And I think that is beautiful, because people misinterpret appetite with
overweight.
Waking.
Yeah.
Many people,
it's true,
have told me oh no, Yamuna, I can't have something to stimulate more my appetite. No, we need to stimulate it, because you're eating and it's just putrefying in there. It's just sitting in your body. It's not doing anything.
Right.
No, we want it to have a nice function.
Yeah,
and it's not all the time. It's just we need to tweak it. Tweak your system. Help it.
The idea is to eat 6 times during the day and have it be good food. Yeah. And nice appetite is key to that.
Yeah. I don't know about 6 times. I'll be eating all the time. Snacks, having snacks.
Yeah, it would be I work out in the morning, so it's a pre-workout snack, which is either a little apple or half a banana, whatever, something small like that for energy. Then post-workout, which is breakfast. Then after that, a snack, another fruit or some nuts or something. And then after that, lunch. And then after that, a snack, and then dinner. And that's it.
Yeah.
That's what my day looks like in a perfect day, which doesn't always happen, but in a perfect day, that's what I should be eating.
Yeah, not meals. Just like there's
Little.
there's
No,
little
and there's
snacks between.
definitely portion control. Definitely, super mindful of carbs. Not carbs in every meal, and definitely a lot of protein. So the more protein I eat, the less hungry I feel, or like the less. Let me not say hunger. Let me say the less anxious feeling I get towards food, because sometimes you're just like, I need to eat something now.
No, and then you just eat anything.
But
'cause you
protein
wait too long.
stabilizes that feeling. And yeah.
So
Super interesting.
you won't gain weight.
No, you don't gain weight.
Make sure you have a healthy appetite.
Yeah, because if not, the body starts eating itself.
Or you actually do gain weight.
Yeah.
When you don't eat, you will gain weight.
Yeah.
I've seen it. I've seen it all the time.
Your metabolism is so slow.
You just have to, like you're saying, eat the right foods.
Eat the right food.
things.
Eat consistently. Yeah.
Be consistent. Don't wait too long or not have anything at all. Then you're in trouble.
Yes.
You don't want to get acid reflux, heartburn, ulcers. Like, don't let it get worse.
Yeah, so many things associated to that.
And then associated to appetite, there's much, much more. Like, make sure you're having a proper bowel movement, hydrating, and exercising, and so much more.
Yeah.
But
and I can't reiterate enough, there's no magic pill. People just love pills. Like, they're just like a magic pill. No, it's a whole lifestyle.
It's a whole lifestyle.
It's a whole lifestyle.
Just take care of yourself.
Yeah.
Because
Be good to you.
matter most.
You be good to you.
You are important, and you deserve the best. You deserve to take care of yourself. And
can we stop comparing ourselves?
Yes,
please.
And everyone is special. Everyone is special.
Everybody's different and beautiful.
And everyone is beautiful.
Yeah.
Like, there is no perfect body. There is no perfect way of being. There is no perfect hair. Like, everyone is beautiful, and that difference between us all, physically, externally, is what makes us beautiful. And imagine if all of us looked the same. It's
how
so boring.
Yeah. It's so boring.
You are a blessing, and you are blessed to be here, and you love yourself, appreciate yourself, honor yourself, and just be happy. Where you are is perfect. Like, don't hurt yourself, because sometimes we hurt ourselves, trying to do things correctly and trying to make sure. No, just pace yourself and do some little adjustments slowly. Like, don't go fast, because fast adjustments don't work long term. So better slow, long term changes.
Slow and steady.
Yeah, steady. And as long as you feel good, that is the key. Engage yourself by how you feel. I think after you eat, see how you feel, or see how that food made you feel. I think that's very important. So, and you will feel better.
That's the whole idea. That's why I started this podcast. I feel that more awareness needs to be on positive changes, on happiness, on ways of life, that not everything is supposed to be by the book.
Yeah.
There's other ways to live life.
Yes.
And as a society, having kids was my awakening to see what society was truly about. So, I appreciate your knowledge at this podcast. I appreciate you coming and talking to me and us.
Thank you.
My listeners.
Yes. Thank you for having me.
And
it's so beautiful.
And I can't wait to have you again.
Thank you so much, Steph. Thank you. I appreciate you.
Thank you, and stay safe, everyone.
Thank you. Yay.